All right. In previous class, we were discussing particularly about what is functional unit test, who will perform it, where we will perform, how we will perform. We tested a couple of scenarios, like while I'm trying to post a journal entry, what are the errors I get it, right? We have seen that practical scenario. Whenever you are calling it as the configuration is completed, you need to make sure all the configuration that we have done is thoroughly tested before we move that to our production system. That's a actual thing happens in any project. Now, during this testing, there is also some more activities you need to perform. Without that, your testing also cannot move further. So, but not that is not part of testing, but before you start testing, you need to make sure these things has been maintained. What are those things? Those are called your cutover activities. Today, what we will do, we'll quickly revise what is your functional unit test before you perform or uh, before you move all the configuration to production system. What is the checklist that need to have it? Let's have that checklist, which will help you to understand in a better manner. Checklist before moving config to prod. We call this, when I say prod, it's a production system. Whenever you talk about moving all your configuration to production system, first you need to make sure all the configuration is tested in development system first there. As soon as you complete your configuration, which you do in a development system, you perform thorough testing in development system itself one round. That is called your functional unit test. Okay. So let me say config is first tested. This you call it as functional unit test in development system. Once this FUT is successfully tested, when I say successfully tested, no issues report. Whenever any issues reported, you need to fix that configuration wherever there are gaps and then proceed to the next thing. Now you tested all the configuration that you call it as functional unit test in development system. Then you are moving this configuration to quality system. Now, how do you move this? With the help of transport request. Okay, that is what we do after successful FUT testing, right? You move this to quality system. What is the main purpose that I move to quality system here? Why should I move to quality? Anyway, I completed my FUT. Can I move directly to the production system? Why should I move to quality system? Because whenever you complete any configuration, obviously not only FUT test, you also need to make sure various other testings we need to perform. So dedicatedly, we'll talk about the testings whenever we talk about testing product. But for now, understand this at a high level. As soon as we complete the configuration, we need to test this in quality system also with various different tests, not just that you test only one. When I say FUT, which is a one small unit of testing, that is what we are doing here. But there is something called integration testing as well, which you need to make sure. So I don't remember if I had spoken about types of testing projects earlier, but let me go back and see if I have done that small thing. We have not covered that, but anyway, I'll cover that in one of our sessions. What are the other types of testings that we do it? Let's say now you're done with FUT in our development system. Now you are moving that configuration to quality system to make sure other testings also we complete. Just like yesterday's example that we spoke, you test one individual component or an individual object or individual process or a business process, you call it as, that you have configured. You are testing only that from your point of view. But you need to look from other perspective as well by adding one more object to that. When you are adding another object, you need to make sure even after adding additional objects, it is still giving the same result. It is not giving any negative results or it is not stop working. That's what we need to make sure. That should not stop or should not break the system. We call this as whether the system is breaking by any reason, right? So if system is not breaking, then that is the good point for us to give a sign off to proceed further. That's what we do here in quality system. We perform various SIT and UAT. Okay, let me call this after successful FUT, config is transported to QAS system. for SIT. What is SIT? Anybody can help me? That is system integration test, right? And there's a one more UAT. What is this UAT? We can't hear if anybody is saying, but fine. UAT is your user acceptance test. So, and also we perform SIT, UAT, and regression. Okay. So here we'll also perform negative regression, positive regression, right? So various other testings we perform. Minimum, these are the three things that you need to perform in quality system. Then once you're done with all this, then what we will do? So then we will move this. No, sorry. Once we are done with this, this has to be signed off by various people. Let's say you need to obtain approvals or call it as a sign off. What are the sign off or approvals required? Let's say in quality system, what are the testings that we do? We perform SIT. Whoever perform SIT, that person, let's say this might be another consultant from your functional side, but they are dedicatedly QA resource. We call it as a QA, quality assurance resource. Quality assurance resource will be performing all these testings. Whenever the quality assurance resource test all this in the quality system, they will also prepare a document, something similar to what we prepared yesterday, right? They will prepare their document and say that all the testing is fine, all testing passed, system working as expected. They will confirm that by sharing the document in one of the tool, whatever we are maintaining. If we are maintaining, let's say, HPALM, in HPALM, they will update. If you are using Jira, they will update in Jira. If you are using solution manager, they will update in a solution manager. There are different tools depending on organization. Every organization will be using their specific or their preferred tools based on their budget and requirement. Okay. So these are various tools to manage all the workflow and all the tickets they are using one or the other tool. So Jira, ServiceNow, HPALM, these are various tools used by various companies. Let's say a company is using ServiceNow at this moment. In ServiceNow, we will start tracking one particular configuration. Let's say the particular configuration that we are talking at this moment is company code baseline configuration. I'll create one task with this name in my ServiceNow tool and will track the phases of it, which phase we are currently in. It will say that currently I'm in business requirement gathering. Once you're done with business requirement gathering, then you are going to prepare a solution design document. Then you are going to prepare your KDS, right? Yeah, key data structure document. Then you are going to prepare your configuration that we call it as a development. Now you will say that this is in a development phase. Once development is done, you need to perform FUT. You call that as it is in FUT stage. Once FUT is done, then it will be moved to quality system for SIT, UAT, and regression. Then one by one you will go. Then you will say that currently this company code configuration is in SIT. Then you will say that once it is done, the person whoever has done, they will provide their sign off and approval. It is working as expected as part of SIT. It is passed. Then it will be moved to UAT. Or even before UAT, you need to perform regression. If you want to go with the sequence, this is how it goes. So understand this way. SIT, then you perform regression. The person whoever performed regression, they will also provide their sign off and afterwards stating it is working as expected. And finally, it will go to UAT. UAT generally is performed by business users. Business users now will perform user acceptance test to make sure whatever they use on a regular basis, the system, right? The same thing they need to validate and confirm. It is working as expected. All the functionalities are working fine as expected. This is what your business users will confirm in their system. They will also prepare similar document what we prepared with all the scenarios they cover. They might cover multiple scenarios. Let's say in yesterday for a FUT, we might have covered only one scenario. But business users are the people who knows business in depth. They are the right people who has the good amount of knowledge. They know in and out of everything. So they will be performing testing, particularly the UAT testing, with multiple scenarios. Maybe there is no limit for that, depending on their comfortability, depending on their bandwidth, depending on the complexity of their process, they are going to perform various testings. Today, if they say that everything working as expected and they give a sign off, tomorrow, if any problem arises in the production system because of the same functionality, that consultant is not going to fix directly because you only said last time it is working as expected. How can you say that now it is not working? For that reason, it is business responsibility to test the system thoroughly. If they want to take additional time, that's okay to take it. You take additional time and you test it thoroughly, then only you proceed further. Then only you provide your sign off. Once sign off is given, done, which is like you are confirming everything is okay, give me the system, I'll manage it. That's all. Okay. Now, any new requirement, any changes, any issue that you are reporting is going to become a change request. What is change request? So, whatever initially we discussed with a business, let's say I discussed with the business users and they said, I want one company code to be created. So, you asked me company code creation, I created. Now, you are asking one more company code. We didn't discuss about that initially. Whatever we discussed, for that only I charged. Now you are saying, I want one more company code. It was not in our initial discussion. They might defend on it. They will say that, no, I said already. Where is the proof? Let's bring the proof. How do you defend on that? How do you debate on it, right? Now that is where all the documentation comes into picture. Whenever your business says that, no, I said two, but you created only one, that is consultant mistake. But as a consultant, what your smart work you need to prove is you go back and refer to your business requirement document. We prepared business requirement document purely based on inputs that you received from a business users. And you also got sign off on that document from a business. You pull up the document and tell them, boss, say this is the document you clearly signed off last time, which clearly says only one company. We never spoke about second company. I'm happy to create one more now for you, but only thing I want to let you know that this is additional charges, right? Consultant time is again costly. It's not that once they are hired, they will do anything they want. Yes, they will do, but not at a free of cost, right? So what company will say that, I know you need one more company code. We are happy to help you, but it takes additional 1 week time or a 10 days of time or a 1 month time. For that, this is the billing we are going to do. Tell me if you are happy with that billing. I'm going to initiate the billing. I'm going to initiate this change request. Now, what they will do, they will get that all approvals from business side to make sure they are aligned with that. Whatever we are discussing now, let's say I have an additional requirement. Whenever you come up with an additional requirement, something like that, that you called as change request. Whenever there is any change request raised by business user, so that has to be approved by business team as well. Yes, it is a change request. What is change request? Which was not part of my original request. It is a new requirement. Whenever there is a new requirement that has to go through your change approval board, you call it as a CAP. Let me call that here. CR is your change request. Okay. Your team will raise business users will raise this change request. Any change request comes into picture, it has to go through CAP. What is CAP? Your change approval board. There is something called change approval board, which comprises from a client side, which is a business side, the management team, and implementation partner side management team. Both will discuss on this change request and they will provide certain approvals, whether it is okay to proceed or not. They will look into all internal budgets, the requirement and everything they will decide. And finally, they will give approval. If it is okay for them to pay additional money to the business, and implementation partners are also will look into this and confirm whether it is a feasible solution or not. If it is a feasible solution, they will go ahead and approve this change request. Then all your work starts again from the beginning. You gather requirement one more time, you confirm the requirement, you prepare a document with the same requirement, whatever you discussed. Once again, you prepare that document. This is the change request that we received from so and so user with what they are requesting for. You document all of them. Then once you document all of them, you again send to your business user to confirm that back. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. This is what as a consultant I am also going to configure. You need to get that approval. Once they sign off this uh, business requirement document, that is going to serve you as a final proof. That is a proof always we need to save. This document you save not only in your local drives, you have to save this particularly in your OneDrive and also wherever you raise this change request. Let's say, how do you receive this change request? Not through Teams chat, not through your emails. Always it has to be recorded and documented in the process flow tools. What are the process flow tools that we are talking? Either it can be Jira, or it can be HPALM, or it can be ServiceNow, or it can be any other tool that the company is using. Whatever the tool they are using, in that tool, they will raise this change request. In that, you will also find all the approvals in the form of attachment, all the documents in the form of attachment. In each and every phase, you can see that where it is currently, how it is moving from one phase to other phase, who is currently working on that request, all the people assigned to it, you will be able to see that. Now, this is how you will start understanding who is working on this request, how to understand all this. It will be clear for you. Okay. Now, when you look into this, now the change request, all this comes into picture. Whenever you are performing UAT, business user might identify certain new scenarios and say that they are not working. Now, all this comes into picture. They will go back and raise a ticket. And you as a consultant need to verify whether whatever user is reporting now as an issue, was that part of my original requirement or not? Was that part of my initial requirement or not? If it was part of your initial requirement, you need to fix it and give it within the same timeline accurate. If it was not part of initial uh, discussions or initial requirement, now you recommend them to raise a change request. Once they raise a change request, you are going to work with that change request as usual again. Once you get that approval from CAP, you continue working on that requirement as usual. So it will again follow the same flow. You configure that first and you test it in your development system, then again move to quality system for various testings, then you get approved. This is the cycle always follows. Whenever you see change request, what are the things that need to be followed? Keep the same. Once all the sign off is received, then finally what we will do, we'll move all this transport requests into production system. Once you obtain only all the approvals, everything is fine. Once a business says everything is working fine, later they should not complain. If they are complaining, either that can become, if there is any technical issue, of course they will do it. It's not because of the functional configuration missing, they can't say that. If they need that to be fixed, that has to go through your CAP, kind of your change request. Okay. So now once it is done, you will move all the transports to prod. Once you're done with all the approvals, only then you will move finally to your prod. So here, this is your checklist for what? Checklist before moving config to prod. This is the checklist you follow. Now, anywhere you come or find this issue in this UAT, let me add that here only, this two, the change request, where does this falls into picture, right? Let's say this falls here. Okay, so read this under second point and then you move here. Then once you're done with all the sign-offs from all the teams, whoever is required to provide, then only you are going to move all the requests into production system. So once, as soon as you move that, that is where your cutover activities comes into picture. We performed certain cutover activities in quality system to perform various testings like your SIT, regression, and UAT. But as I'm moving to production system now, in production system, this cutover activities is not yet maintained. And whenever I move these transports, all those cutover activities cannot be moved in the transport because they are not generating any TR number. Now let's observe, whenever we are doing majority of them, that will not generate TR. But there are a few things will generate TR number. Those you can ignore, but we still call them as part of cutover activities due to some technical reasons. Okay. Now, cutover activities need to be performed. That is the core topic that we initiated to understand after our configuration. This is the configuration I have done. After the configuration, we also need to make sure certain cutover activities are maintained. So these are the cutover activities we spoke. Now let's look into this cutover activities. What are the things that we are talking about? The moment I get into the system, if I wanted to check or wanted to perform anything, let's say you have completed all the configuration. Now you move that configuration to your production system. Now, which means you believe that everything is ready for you to use the system for a production activities. But without completing this cutover activities, you will not be able to use the system the right way, like we have seen yesterday. Now let us see that. We'll practically look into this with all the examples as well. Okay. Let's say that now, even before looking into this cutover list, what I'll do is, so let's say I'm not sure, for example, your business users are not sure about what is happening in a backend system. All they are looking into it. Whenever you say that we are moving all the configuration or the changes into production system, they are eager to use the system. Now they are ready to use for daily activities. Whenever they are trying to use in a daily activities, so they might get certain errors. Why they get errors? Only because there are some more additional activities or supporting activities are missing. They are called cutover activities in our technical terminology. Whenever you talk about cutover activities, so even before you start using in your production, that is, you call it as a go live, right? Even before you go live, so you need to make sure you complete all these cutover activities. Complete all these cutover activities, only then you go live the system. So a small gap between your all the moment happened to production. From there, immediately we will not be able to use the system as it is because I need to perform little more things. What are those little more things? Let's look into it. Those are your cutover activities. Now, slowly, one by one, if I wanted to check that, let's say that now the moment I hand over the system to business, for example, without performing cutover activities, what happens? Let's observe this. F-02. What is our company code? So let's say, don't even worry which date I'm using currently. I'm randomly going with current date. So company code is 9400. I'll make you understand all these fields later. But for now, let's see. This is how your business is using a system. As soon as you say that system is ready for you. And as a consultant, you might missed to check your cutover activities. This is what happens when you miss any cutover activities. Let's say that. So I'm trying to select my account, to which account I wanted to debit and credit. 40 is my debit posting key. Here I'm going to select my cash account data to capital. Okay, cash account I have selected here. When I press enter, it tells me posting period 004-2025 is not open for variance, so on. So which means this is one of our first cutover activity that we need to make sure we have maintained. Here, this is the activity that I'm talking about now. Let's say don't worry about the sequence or the numbering, but this is what the first error I see related to this one. So let me renumber this. Open and close posting period. The error is completely related to open. You can also see the variant TPPV. This is our Tata posting period variant. That is what we created, right? So if I want to correct this situation, how do I going to correct it, right? Now I need to understand where do I maintain this open and close posting periods. It is not a configuration. It is a purely your cutover activity. Generally, these cutover activities, this particularly open and close posting period is handled by your business on day-to-day business. Okay. On day-to-day activities, they will take over this activity completely from a consultant. Only when they need any help, they're struck with something, they will ask consultant support. Otherwise, they will be able to manage it. For them to manage as a consultant, you might also need to provide user training. As a consultant, you are responsible to provide them a training how to use this particular transaction code. Whenever I wanted to open and close posting period, what is the T code that we use for an open and close posting period? Anybody remember? which is OP52. Okay. When I go to OP52, let me keep this screen aside. If I want to open without disturbing this, one more screen with OP52, what is the shortcut that I need to use? If I want slash
/n.
Slash n helps for what? This will replace the current screen. My purpose is not to replace the screen. I want one more session to be open.
/o.
In that case, go with /o. Okay. So don't enter /n if you don't want to replace it. If you want to replace the same screen with a new one, only then enter as a /n. If you say /o, it will open another session. Okay, OP52. I'm just giving a space here. It is not mandatory, just to differentiate the transaction code and the command. Okay, I'm giving /o command followed by your transaction code. But otherwise, you can give without space also. But otherwise, if as initial phase, you might confuse with what is actual T code. You might feel OOB52. I don't want you to get that confusion. So initially, I follow this space for some time. Later, we can club that so that you will get comfortable. When I say OB52, it is asking me posting period variant. This is one of the major difference between ECC and S4HANA system. Whenever you are accessing OB52 transaction code, so let me try this one more time. Here, you will understand this OB52. When I enter OB52, this is the screen it opens or the window it pops up. Whereas in ECC, this window will not pop. In S4HANA, they improved the system. So it is giving an additional filter for you to filter your respective variant. Here directly, either you can enter your respective variant to filter all your values, which matches with this variant. Otherwise, you go and click on maintain all. When you say maintain all the variants, whoever is maintained, will be popped up. I'll show you at this moment, TPPV, we have not yet maintained. So it will not give any results. Okay. It says a blank. My posting period variant is available, but values are blank. Now let me go back again and show you one more time. OB52, and I'll say maintain all this line. This screen is not available in your ECC system. Okay. So this is the main difference of it. Now I see all the variants available. I can see 1,419 rows of the records has been maintained. So if you want to see other variants for any adjustment, or if you don't remember your variant, you can navigate directly with maintain all option. Or if you know already what is your variant, then straight away enter your variant. Then it will takes to only your posting period. You can see your posting period variant. Your posting period variant is TPPV. We are filtering with only one posting period variant. Now, if I go with again one more time, I say maintain all, or you press continuation. By default, it takes all the variant. Now you don't see any specific variant here. Earlier, there was a specific variant because we filtered. That's the one difference with respect to posting period variants in ECC and S4HANA system. Okay. Now let's look into this. Now I want to create my own variant. So I need to set values for this. What is the error I'm getting it? Understand from here and will maintain. Whenever you get this error, this is also one of the errors which you receive particularly during month ends and year ends. Okay. Month end and year end, you will also face this kind of ticket from the business user. Then there is nothing involves as a configuration that you need to do unless the posting period variant itself is missing. But variant is available here. Variant is a configuration. The maintaining open and close periods is responsibility of business first general, which is the day-to-day activities. Okay, where it does not involve any PR, so it doesn't require anything to be maintained. Okay, now let's say I wanted to create my own variant. So let me go with new address. Whenever I go with a new address, all you see is multiple things here. Let's say first thing you see is your variant, and you will have your account to type. Then you will have from account. Then you have a to account. Then you have a from period 1 to period 1. So if you look into this section particularly, this is for your period 1 particularly until here. Okay, first 4 columns, it is your period 1. From here, it is going to be your second. Maybe let's say one. Sorry, this authorization group you can ignore. Okay, I think I have not included this one. So period and year. This is the from to period and year. So this is the first group. And second thing, what you will see is this is the second set of periods that you are going to control. Here also you will take from period and year, from period to and year. And you have a third period. There is some more, maybe one more column at the towards right, which I'm missing it. That is still okay. Now let me put this number here. This is your first set. This is second set. This is third set. Let's understand what is the use of all these. The first one, which you particularly use for your 12 normal periods. We remember we use 12 normal periods plus 4 special periods whenever we create our fiscal year variant. Remember, right? 12 plus 4 is what we create. Here, you are going to enter your 12 periods. You control 12 normal periods you are going to control. Here, you are going to control your special periods. If you want to control anything with a special periods, you maintain them here. If you want to control anything related to your controlling documents, your cost element related documents, for that you use this third option. Okay. Costing related. These are the three. These are the three differences. You can see why we have a three different from and to periods. Don't get confused in which from and to you need to enter your open and close posting period. So now what is mandatory is at this moment I am posting to normal period or a special period. What is my requirement? What transaction I am performing? Am I posting to normal period or a special period at this moment?
Normal period.
It's just a normal period. If it is a normal period, where am I supposed to enter? Between this. Here somewhere you need to enter within this. You no need to worry about the special periods and the costing at all. You can simply ignore at this moment. Okay. Now let's look into this. Now you need to know what is my variant. What is my posting period variant? I have already created TPPV. When I see this, Tata Steel posting period variant. This is what we created. Select this. And account type, if you remember the account types that we spoke, so ADKMS we spoke earlier. Let me check where is this. Okay. If you look into this, ADKMS, right? We spoke about this ADKMS. These are my account types. Always remember this ADKMS. Here, this is what your account type. These account types always, first one, you keep it as a plus, which means it allows for all account types. If you enter plus, this is mandatory irrespective whether you are going to use assets, GL accounts, vendors, customers, or materials or not, whether you use it or not, but you need to have plus mandatory. Okay. Now you are going to enter A, that is for your assets. See this. D for your debtors, which is a customers. K for your creditors, that is vendors. M for your material. S for your general ledgers, GL accounts. Okay. So ADKMS, this is what you need to have it. Now you need to enter your TPPV here. So your variant for all of them. So I don't recommend you to directly enter all these values in this screen because the challenge is whenever you press enter by mistake, it frees all the rows because it is trying to validate one row at a time. One row at a time it will validate. From each field it will try to validate. If there is any value is missing in mandatory fields, system further will not allow you to edit multiple values at a time. For that reason, what I would recommend, you prepare the same thing in Excel, then you can copy paste at once, which will be easy. But for now, for you to understand initially, that is okay. Just give a try so that you will understand how system is accepting the values. What do you mean by ADKMS? If you type this in Excel, you may not understand. So you experiment here directly. Then later, once you become comfortable, And whenever you wanted to perform speed practice or you wanted to complete your configuration quickly, then you prepare everything on Excel, you know the format and everything, then you prepare copy paste it. Okay. So what you can also do in your practice Excel, wherever you have something like this, a new sheets you created, you maintain all the master data in one place. Whatever data that you need, you can simply copy paste from there. Now let's say I need my variant. Then I have account type. Then I have my from account, from and to, sorry, this one. So then you have period, year, again period, year. These are the 8 columns minimum you require to complete at this moment. Let's say now you know TPPV is a variant and you copy how many rows that you need. Now let's say plus directly will not accept an Excel because, okay, it is accepting fine. So A, T, A, M, S. Okay, these are the account types that I need. So now you apply this variant rule. So this many you are complete. So from two accounts, which account to which account you are going to use for assets? Customers, what are your GL account numbers? For your vendors, what are your GL accounts that you need to decide? What I would say at this moment, from I leave it blank and make it this as a Z to allow all accounts. If I say Z, maximum how many digits of the GL account that I can use?
10.
GL account length 10. So you give this 10 times Z. If it is a short by 1 or 2, then later you enter while you are doing it as a 10. Maximum 10 it accepts. If you give 11 also, you will not be able to paste 11 digits while pasting here. System will still take only 10. Though you have a 20 here, like this, system still will consider maximum 10 characters. But we don't need to do such a blunders. So always go precisely whatever you need. Right? This is the from account, you always leave it blank for a plus in case you have no specific criteria, which means from account, it can be anything to ZZF, which means all accounts will be accepted here. Here, if you are maintaining all your GL accounts, let me go back to FSW screen and show you what I'm talking about. This ADKMS. Here, when I talk about this, let's say at this moment, I'll go to cash. Cash is a part of my assets or a liability, or whether it's a customer, vendor, or asset. What is this cash? Whenever you look into financial statements, what is the type of IGL account it is? Cash.
Asset.
Cash is an asset, right? So what is the series that I'm using currently? GL account series. The 1 series, you see starting with a 1. So which means I would say starting from 1, for example. So 9999. If I'm using 10 digits, I'll say 10 digits here. If I'm using only 6 digits here, for example, right? This is only 6 digits, right? So I will say 1 followed by 5 nines. This is my GL account line. Now that is for your assets. Now D for your debtors for all your customers. So customers, what is the account group that you are going to use that you should be aware. If you look into this customers, you will find accounts receivable. Let's see where it is. AP is 2003. If I go with my customers, accounts receivable, anywhere do you find the AR? So let's say AR, do we see 1003? Here I'm using 1003, for example. Here I'm not using all 199 for assets, but in fact, if I want to go with 6 digits, right? Let's say assets, wherever I am using, let me check here one more time. Assets, particularly, let's say current assets and fixed assets. Current investments is also current assets. They are also your current asset, in fact. But wherever you are using accounts that are purely related to your customers, for example, let's say at this moment, we have not created. Later, when we create, we will define all those accounts. Let's say, maybe in case I'm using all 1005 series for my customers, right? 00, 100599. This is my customer accounts, GL accounts. And similarly, for my creditors, I might be using 200,600, 200,699. These are my vendor accounts. My material account similarly, maybe 300,100, 300,199. And the S is for your general ledger account. Let's say general ledger accounts if I'm using. So all four series, for example, I'm just taking as an example. Later, whenever you create these accounts, based on that, we can control it. Okay. This is how you just enter all your accounts that you wanted to control. Now, period, from which period you wanted to control. Let's say I want to restrict my business user to post only in a current period. What is my current month? Calendar month. Which calendar month are we in? Currently, what is current month? Is it a July? If it is a July month, what is the period that you call in SAP for this July? For my April to March. Yeah, April to March is what my financial year. In April to March, July period number is what?
4.
It is a 4. Now, that is a period that you need to decide which period to open. So now I want my business user to use only fourth period. In that case, fourth period in which year? It is in 2020. If you go back and check here, the calendar that we had set, if you remember how we did that calendar, right? Maybe let me quickly show you that. I think before this configuration, we just started. I hope all of you remember the calendar exercise that we did. I see that here, April as, so April is my first period, July is my fourth period here. This is what I'm controlling. How am I getting 4 as my July? Is because, sorry, it's because we are starting from April. April is a first period, May is a second period, June is my third period, July is my fourth period. That is the logic that we used, right? So as part of my April to March financial year or fiscal year, my July will become fourth period in 2025 year. This is the from period. Now 2 period, I want my users to use only fourth period. So what I will do, enter from and to as a fourth period, which is now restricting to only fourth period. In case you want your business users to use June and July together, in that case, from period will become 3 and 2 period will become 4, which means third to fourth, both the months are allowed. Third period and fourth period, both are allowed. In case you want business to use all 12 periods at any given time, then you enter 1, 2. You are not restricting any period. They can use any period. Okay. Now, let's say I want only fourth period. Let me maintain this. Okay. So this is the use of your posting period maintenance. At this moment, we don't want all these also, but I'll go with only plus. So enter this plus here. Here, I'll show you what I was talking about. If I press enter by mistake here, what happens? This is what it happens. It is not allowing you to edit in a bulk. I want to paste bulk for all this, I can't. If I want to delete something, I can't. Now it is freeze only for one row at a time. I can make any changes in only one row. Once you complete, only then it can move to the next one. To avoid this, what you will do is always, though I would suggest wherever you see a big blank like this, right? You maintain separately in a somewhere like Excel or a notepad and then copy paste it, which will be easy until you become comfortable. Otherwise, you can play around it however you want later. Let's say OB52, I'll restart the transaction, TTPV, and here go with a new address. As I have already copied this, what I'll do, I'll simply paste it. So here, when I filtered with my posting period variant, I don't have a variant to paste here. It starts with account type. I copied from variant. So what I'll do, I'll copy one more time from here. I'll avoid variant because variant is not required whenever I directly filter. Okay, now paste. Now this is what I'm going to get. Now you have entered from period 4, year 2025, to period also for 2025. So that's it. Now it says, do not enter an account number for a masked account type. So as it is a plus is a mask, it is not asking you to enter account type also, account number also. Okay. So I'll remove that account number because it doesn't require. So press enter. Now I'm able to proceed. Now simply save this. Okay. Now I'm able to save posting period variant. If I go back to this transaction posting, let's see. Let me press enter. In company code 9400, the number range is missing. Is there any error for a posting period still? Earlier, there was a issue for a posting period. Now there is a different issue. Now this is a different error. If you look into this, let me take this as a screenshot for your reference. Now you need to get familiar with all these kind of errors so that it will be easy whenever you are doing your company code configuration. You no need to depend on anybody to fix it. This is the second error that you are seeing here. Okay. Now, whenever you look into this error, company code 9400, the number range 01 is missing for year 2025. Now, if you look into our cutover activities, the first activity that we maintain open and close posting period. With respect to that, I don't see any error now. Now I'm getting another error that is related to my document number ranges. See, that is the next activity that I have listed here for us to proceed as part of our cutover activity. Document number ranges are maintained. Now let me take that here. Now, this is what cutover activity you need to maintain. Let's say document number ranges. Now, it is expecting 01 number range. Where do I maintain number ranges, document number ranges? Cutover activities if I want to maintain. So, what is the number range? Oh, sorry, for a 01 number range or any number range that I want to maintain, where do I maintain? FBN1. Go to FBN1, transaction code called FBN1. So I'm done with this screen. So I'll replace this screen. When I want to replace this, I'll use /n, FBN1. If I go to FBN1, so it asks you to enter company code, which means you are controlling this number ranges at company code level. So that's the reason it is asking you company code. If it is not asking any company code, which is at a client level. Whereas in posting period variant, whenever we are entering, it didn't ask you straight away company code, but that is maintained at posting period level. Okay. Now, here, let me enter my company code 9400 and intervals. Here, it has only one row at a time, which is allowing. So in case you need a more rows, you click on plus, which will allow you to enter more. If you enter multiple, until you enter all this, system won't allow you to save it. By mistake, if you press enter, again, it will freeze all of them. It release only one row at a time. Okay, now you need to understand number range. What is the number range that you wanted to use? What is the year that you wanted to use? What is the from and to you need to use? There is something called external. Now let's understand this quickly. Whenever I talk about document number range, system is expecting 01 number range. Why it is expecting 01 number range is the account type that I entered here is party posting key. Party is the posting key for your GL account to debit. There are posting keys like we discussed earlier. Each posting key will control certain things. This posting key is controlling type of account as well. What type of account it is controlling? General ledger accounting. It is taking a debit entry of it. 40 is a debit for your GL account. Now GL accounts are indicated by what is my account type for GL accounts? Account type just now we spoke in ADKMS. As part of ADKMS, what is my GL indication? I mean, which account type, my GL? That is yes. Yes is for your GL. So that is where you see document type is SA. If I see SA, look into this SA. What is SA here? When I say SA, it says GL account document. You are entering GL account document. Now, let's say currently I'm getting error for number range 01. If I change SA to something else, you will find a different number range here particularly. Observe very carefully. I'm changing this to KR, for example. I press enter. Now, what is the number range it is asking for? 01. Now it is 19. Now what is the source for this document number range it is reading? It is reading from document type. If I change to KZ, observe this from 19, it changed to what? 50. Fine. Now let's say DR. What is the number range now? For this also 80. Okay. DZ. It is going to 14. You are able to make out, right, what I'm trying to show you. ZP. Now we have a 20 number range. Whenever I change a document type, it is also changing. Number range is also changing. So now this is the trigger or a clue for you to understand the link between the number range is the document type. Now let's go back to document types quickly to understand how do I understand which number range to enter here. Here, if I want to maintain number range, which number range to use at this moment? At this moment, I am trying to post GL account, GL document. GL documents we identify with document type called SA. Now let me go to /O OBA7. OBA7 is the transaction code to access all your document types. In a document types, if I go here, you will be able to see all your document types. What is the current document type that I'm trying to post here? So let's say earlier I was using this one. What is the document type? 01, it is SA. Now go to SA document type here. There are 153 document types. So I'm going down, page down one by one. Here I can see SA, which is GL account document. If I double click on it, say, now you see what is the number range it is assigned here.
1.
Do you make out from where this error is popping out? I mean, from where the system is reading your document number range? You are able to understand or still any confusion?
Yes, we need to change that document type. Sorry, number range.
We are not going to change the number range, but all we need to understand is the error, the source of the error that I need to understand.
Yes.
This 01 is linked with my SA doc. That's all you just need to understand. This is because you are using SA document type here. This SA document type contains this 01 number range. You understand from where this is changing. If I change here SA to other document type, whatever the number range assigned here, the same number range will ask you to maintain in this table. If you maintain in this table, the same number range, the error will not repeat. This is the simple error. You will also receive a tickets from your business users, particularly your go live dates are just before go live. You need to thoroughly test the system. If you have not thoroughly tested, this kind of things might have slipped from your checklist. Now your business users are trying to post and they see some various errors. Now they will raise a ticket. As a consultant, you need to understand from where this error is triggering. What is the source for this? This is how we need to start understanding the law. Now, this is a very common error that you will also face if you have not maintained document number range. Now I'm trying to post SA document types, which is connected with what is the number range it is connected with. Number range is 01. So let's maintain that 01. Okay. So it is easy for me to maintain without showing you this example, but that may not make sense if I maintain diagram. That's the reason I didn't maintain cutover activities in our configuration steps. I separated this particularly to make you understand what is cutover activity concept and practically how you do in a project as well. Right now, the year, is there any 2 years here, from and 2 years, or just it is talking about only 2 years? 2 years. There is no from year. There is no from year. You don't see anywhere from here. Whereas in other place, wherever you see, right? Let's say, let me go back to posting period variant one more time, OB52. Here, you have an option where you can see from and to both. Here, from period, this is from year. You can see clearly, if I expand this year, what is this text says? From fiscal year. And observe this here. There is a difference. From and to both the years we are using it here. Correct? So whereas in this one, do you have from year anywhere here? I am already at the left side. Do I see anywhere the from year option?
No.
No, which means Particularly in multiple places in SAP, you will not have a from. You will find only 2 year. Or in very rare cases, you will find only from, no 2 year, depending on the situation. Now, let's say in this screen of FBN1, wherever we are maintaining the document number ranges, system is allowing you to enter only 2 year, which means that is called highest physical year. You are going to enter here highest physical year. What do you mean by highest physical year? Now, if I say 2024, now in which fiscal year I am currently in? Here, whenever I'm posting a document, which fiscal year I am in?
25.
Fiscal year
2020.
is 2025. If I enter 24 here, system won't allow me to post any documents in 2020. It allows up to 2024. Highest means up to this year. Up to this year, it is allowed. If I say 2025, now will it allow me or not for 2025? It should have. Okay. Now, if I enter 2026, will it allow me for a 2025 or is it only for a 2026?
It will allow only 2026.
Now, that is what we need to understand. It is other way around. So, whenever I say 2026 here, up to 2026, I can post to any year. Either I can post to 2020, I can post to 1999, I can post to 2021, I can post to 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026. If I want to post to 2027, it will stop. Up to 2026, you can use any year that you want. There is no restriction. If I say 2025, up to 2025, you can use any past years, which will not stop you. That is the use of highest physical year. Remember this highest number. Whenever I say highest, that is the top access that you have. Until then, you can do anything you want. Until that year, you can post. Okay. Now, if I say 2030, up to 2030, I no need to maintain number range for this number range 01. One time I'm maintaining, for next 5 years, I can use the same thing. Right. Now, at this moment, I enter only 2020. For this year, I'm just maintaining it. For other number ranges, we'll change this year to future years also. We'll test on that also later. At this moment, understand, this is called highest fiscal year. Here, you just need to enter year up to which year you wanted to use this number. Okay. Once I set in my business 01, I'll continue to use every year the same number range. 25 also 01, 26 also 01. 27 also 01 for all GL account document types of SA. Okay. Now, this is the major use of your highest fiscal year. Okay. So, if I enter 2027, for example, still it will allow me for 25, 26, 27. I'll show you this practically where you will understand. Once I enter, I will not be able to edit this. That's the reason I just wanted you to experience with 25. Once I post any document, you will not be able to revert it. But anyway, still I'll make some corrections. I'll show you without posting it. Okay, from what is the number range you wanted to denote for this? Now, whenever I post this document, system will automatically generate one document number. For that, source is this number range that we are giving it. For this 01 number range, for this document type SA, system will go and check in this FBN table and will confirm what is the number range that I supposed to be. I will say that just to easily catch what is the number range that I'm using, I'll go with this flow. I'm using currently 01. So I will say 1 series. As it is a 01, I'll use, let's say, for example, I'll just go with 6 digit or a 7 digit. Maximum here also you can go 10 digits. But to make it simple, I'll go only 6 digits. Okay. 1000000. So 159. This is my number range that I'm going to use. Always your two numbers should be greater than from number. If you enter less than that, system won't accept. Remember this. Okay. Now NR status. NR status, you don't have any control. You don't need to do anything. Okay. The system will take number range status. Whenever you post one document, it will take that document number here. Just to confirm how many documents has been already posted in this document number range. That system will automatically read from a backend table and will update it here. You don't need to worry. This is just for our reference. So that's the reason this field is also disabled. You can't edit. Now there is something called external. What is external number range? We spoke about the number ranges earlier. So what is external number range? If I enable this, this is going to become external. If I don't enable, by default, it is called internal number range. Now let's understand quickly one more time, revise this internal and external. Internal number range and external number range. Okay. Now, anybody ever taken any fancy numbers for your vehicles or seen that people are applying for a fancy numbers for their vehicles? Anybody can take, I mean, by paying
Yeah, I
additional
have
money,
taken.
can we take fancy number for our vehicles, either two-wheeler, four-wheeler, or
Yeah, I
anything?
have taken.
Right? The fancy number, what do you mean by fancy number here? Is it something they are assigning of their choice or your choice?
It's our choice.
In the available list, right? Whatever available list, they will show you the available. In that, you can pick your choice of number, whether you want all, let's say, some fancy number, something like that 9999. I want this as my vehicle number, or I want like 8888. Depending on your sentiment or your whatever the thing that you have in your mind, right? You would want to have your specific numbers of your choice. If somebody wanted to have their mobile number, you will also go for a fancy numbers, which means like I wanted to have all nines as my mobile number, which is a very fancy. These numbers are maybe little expensive. This is possible with the help of external number range. Whenever you wanted to have this kind of customization and your choice of numbers, you will go for external number range. That is the first thing you need to understand. External means you can do the customization and you can enter any number that you want. Okay. And internal number range, which is a system defined. Whenever I say system defined, system will give a sequence. You don't have any control. Okay. So these are like your manual. Can be non-sequential. If you want to maintain sequence, yes, you can maintain. Otherwise, if you want to go with a non-sequential also, you can go for it. That's the advantage in external number range. So internal number range, always it is a system defined and it will come in a sequence. What do you mean by system defined? If you say that this is my number range that I'm going to use, let's say in the previous same example here, I'm talking about this number range. Whenever I post a document, first document, it will post in this. It will post with this document. Next, it will post with +1. Then it will post with next +1 to the previous number. Then it will continue with this one. Then it will post this number in a same sequence. You can't bypass this sequence. If you want to skip number 5 here, if you don't want to 5 and you want directly 6, this is not possible. This is not possible in your internal number range. Okay. Now, if it is an external number range, you can post any number. Let's say I'll start from here. Let's say this is the number range you are starting with. Once you post this, and you will be able to post your choice of number 54 also. Now, as you are choosing external number range, you can post something like, let's say 840. This is possible. Are you able to understand what is external and internal? External, you can enter any choice of your number if you select this. If you make it internal, you no need to enter manually. System will define automatically and it goes in a sequential format. If you use external, if you want your choice, whatever the sequence, you can do that. Like your sequence, non-sequence, anything you can do it. But again, within this number range. Within this number range, you can give any number. First, if you want to go with this number, you can create. But I'll show you that how it will impact. Now you are creating this as internal number. You are not making this as an external at this moment. Okay, don't even take that. So you are going with the internal by default. Let me save this. While saving, I don't get any transport request number, but it gives me some transport related message. Number range interval transport. That is the message. It says the intervals are not included in automatic recording of customizing changes. It is saying you cannot include these changes by default in your TR number. In case you wanted to include this number ranges in TR, there is a way that SAP is allowing. For that, you go to interval. After saving this, let's say, for example, I will not select. If I don't select, it will not happen. You select this first, then go to interval and use transport. If you say transport, which will give you an option to include this in your transport. This is a confirmation message which is asking, do you want to transport the intervals? Let's say yes. Then it will ask you in which transport you wanted to save. Do you want to include in Tata Group or baseline configuration or a different transport request number? You can go and select your choice of transport request number. Let's say I'll go with our baseline configuration and continue. Now it has been included in my transport request. The original transport request, whenever I transport that to quality system or a production system, this will transport along with your number ranges, this number ranges, whatever you see. Okay, so that's an advantage. Wherever there is no option, as it is a cutover activity, there is no transport request number for this. Only for this, SAP has given this transport option where you can include. Now, let's say I have saved this. Now I'm done. Now let me go back to this document posting and see the error. Continue with this testing. I mean, I'm trying to post, business users are trying to post. Now, initially I saw an error for the first thing of your date related, where posting period was not open. Now it is allowing. Now I'm going here with a number range. Whenever I'm entering with a number range, so it is linked with your document type. So for that, I also maintained 01 here. So let me show you that. For this 01, I have updated. Earlier it was not there. Now I am updating. So now let me press enter. What happens? Now that message is gone. Now it is straight away getting into the next screen. Now, one more cutover activity I'll show you because we already maintained as a part of a previous class. So posting date, fine. Your number range is also fine. Now, when I press enter, account I have not yet entered. For example, if I press enter, it is expecting an account, specify account. Now, if you have not created a GL account, you need to maintain that as well. That is the third thing that you need to maintain as a part of your cutover activity. Now, I maintain 2 cutover activities. Third cutover activity that you need to make sure, your GL account creation. Here, there are 2 things. One, the first thing you need to make sure the major GL accounts, whatever you need, retained earnings account for sure you need to create, and other GL accounts, whatever instead of other, I'll say, and other respective GL accounts creation. You need to create these 2 first. Now, retained earnings account, if you remember, we created from which group? Retained earnings account. What is our retained earnings account that we maintained? Where do I maintain retained earnings account? My retained earnings account. Let me show you this configuration. You have all the information here. You go and check here. Where is the retained earnings account that I maintained? Anybody able to figure out a retained earnings account here?
OB53.
OB53, this is my account number that I maintained, but I have not yet created this in FS00. If you go to FS00 here and see this account number, whether you have this, go and find for this 200, 100. Am I able to find this retained earnings account that I'm looking for?
No.
It says not yet created. For that, what you need to do is you need to create now. So 200, 100 is a part of which account group? First, you decide that. It is part of your 200, 100, 2010 is your reserves and surplus. Okay. It's a part of your reserves and surpluses. So that's what you need to create. Okay. Now let me create this. First account you need to create 200, 100. This is your retained earnings account, which I have already assigned in my OB53. Let me show you that as well. So whenever I'm here in the mid of these pop-ups, you still can navigate from this option. Click on this, which gives you an option for new GUI window. Click on this, which will open a completely new window, OB53. If I go with OB53, it is asking chart of accounts. Enter your chart of accounts. And what is the account number that I see here? 200, 100. This is the account I given earlier while creating OB53. This is a part of my configuration. So I maintain this account. Now I need to make sure I have to create that account. Now create this. So now this 200, 100 account is balance sheet account or a profit and loss. My retained earnings. Let me enter the description here. Retained earnings. In the meantime, you guys can think and answer me. Is it part of your balance sheet or a profit and loss? Retained earnings account. Based on that, I need to choose that here. That's the reason I'm asking.
It's a balance sheet.
Correct. It's a part of balance sheet. There's nothing to do with SAP. This is your core accounting fundamentals. Without even looking into SAP, we should be able to understand what is retained earnings account. Where is this part of it? Is it a part of balance sheet or a profit and loss account? If you are familiar in accounts where it falls, then you don't need to worry about it. It's just a matter of selecting from this application. SAP is just an application, nothing else. It's not a rocket science, or you are not developing a software here. Somebody has already developed this software, but we are just using, just like WhatsApp, what you are using. You just need to know why you are using the options, right? The same way we need to know why I want to use. Now retained earnings account is part of my balance sheet. So I choose balance sheet and account group. Under which group I created here? If I see this, what is my account group?
Two 2001.
2001. By default, what I made, first 4 digits of this, I made it as my account group, which will be easy. I go with Z1, reserves and surplus. Is this the same thing that I'm talking about? Reserves and surplus, 2001 here. Okay, press enter. So that's a basic thing that you need to choose. As usual, control data, currency you enter, and the work meter management not required. And sort key, if you require, enter the sort key 001. And as usual, your field status group G001 is fine. Save this. Okay, keep balance sheet accounts in local currency only. Okay, so fine. It is saying keep your local balances in local currency only. It is just a warning, but it is not mandatory. In case required, if you have more than one currency in your company codes, then you maintain this in local currency only. Then save this. So these are the basic requirement that you need to create your retained earnings account. That is the first GL account that you are creating as part of your cutover activity. Retained earnings account has been created, and we also created cash account and capital account in previous class. So those are the minimum GL accounts that you create. Now you will choose that GL account here. Now, which account I'm going to choose? Let's say I'm going to enter capital. Let's select capital. Sorry, cash account. Cash account data to capital. Let's say retained earnings account also reflecting. So far we created 3 GL. First thing, I need a cash account. I debit cash account. And here, let's say I'm going to enter 1 lakh rupees. So 1 lakh rupees is what the business I'm starting with. Or if I want to start with rich, let me go with 1 crore rupees. That's okay. Anyway, I'm not going to spend money. So let me put a big number for a capital. So text, this is the narration we give it for a future reference. In case you wanted to identify what kind of transaction it is, you will put a detailed explanation here. Let's say, generally, whenever you are writing in accounting books of accounts in olden days, we used to write being capital introduced into business. This is how we used to write a journal entry. Now, for your reference, what you can do simply, let's say capital introduced. That is also fine. By looking into the description, you should be able to make out what it is. That's it. Now you enter this, and posting key 40 you entered already, which is a debit entry. Debit entry 40. For a GL accounts, credit entry is 50. 50. And which account I wanted to credit? Whenever I'm bringing a capital, what is the journal entry? That you just need to
Cash account attached to capital account.
Capital account. I have debited my capital account here by mistake. So instead of a cash account, I have debited capital account, which is a mistake. Now I want to correct this. So I will not be able to do that. Let me go back. So here, if I go back, that line has been cancelled. Now I'll enter one more time 40 debit. I'll choose my cash account. The first one is my cash account. So press enter. Here you will be able to see which account you have chosen. By mistake, whatever you have chosen earlier, you need to remember that. Now let's say account. The amount you say 1 crore and text capital introduced. And here I'll say 50 posting key. And I'll select capital account because cash account debits and capital account gets credit. Okay, press enter. Now here in the second screen, I'm in a second line item. Here, if you see item number 2, whatever you entered earlier was a line item 1. Now currently I'm in second line item. Whenever you fill first line item, in a second line item, if you want to copy the same amount and text, only these two, same amount and text, you no need to repeat that one more time. Simply enter star in the amount field and plus in a text field. Don't interchange it, but it is strictly plus for a text, star for an amount, and press enter. It will automatically copy from the first line item. It will go back to first line item and try to read what is the amount entered in the amount field. What is the text entered in text field? It will copy as it is. Now it has copied 1 crore here and capital introduced here. Sorry, this may be, 1 crore and capital introduced here. It has taken copy of the same thing. Now this is how a business users also will try to enter a document. Now this is the another cutover activity that we completed. I'm not posting the document straight away. I want you guys to understand cutover activities first so that later we can post a number of documents. Now we are talking about cutover activities. Until here, they are not facing any issue. Your business is able to proceed. This is the various testings that we will also perform as we are performing this various cutover activities. So far, I'm able to complete this one. At this moment, I'm not posting to any vendor master accounts. I'm not posting to customer master, so I don't require BP master as well. In case I want to post any transaction to vendor customer, only then I need to talk about vendor customer or a BP. So I'm just posting directly to the GL accounts. So I don't need to worry about this cutover activities at this point. My requirement is only GL accounts. In case I wanted to post any vendor invoice, then you need to go through all this process. Now, this is not mandatory at this moment, which is an optional, but still it is a cut. We'll maintain this cutover activity whenever we talk about P2P process. There is something called a P2P process. During that phase, I'll maintain this. Okay, this is for your P2. This is for O2C. This is for your altogether P2P and O2C, whatever you are performing it. So you are going to maintain BP. Whenever you want to start any one of them, you need to start with BP. Then your customer and vendor both you will maintain it. At this moment, we are proceeding only with GL accounting. So you don't need to worry about this. Tax codes is also an optional. Profit center, cost centers. Let's see if system allows or not to post this. Whenever I simulate this, click on this simulate button, overview, and go to document and click on simulate. Now here you can see which account is getting debited, plus wherever you see the minus, here you see the minus sign, which means which is a credit sign. Wherever you don't see minus, that is your debit line, which is a positive line, which is a positive amount, negative amount. Negative amount means a credit, positive amount means it is a debit. Now you have a debit posting key that denotes 40 for your cash account that is getting debited, and your capital account is getting credited. Always your debit equals to credit. That is your fundamental accounting rule. Always it should be balancing. This balance should be 0. Your debits equals to credit. If there is a mismatch, system won't allow you to post. What else you can see in this screen? You can see what is the total of debit line items. If there are 10 different lines you posted for a debit, sum of all those will reflect here. Total of all debits, total of all credits, and total how many lines are there, it will give you that summary. Total, there are 2 lines, 1 debit and 1 credit. If there are 3 lines that you entered, it would have shown 3 lines. I'll quickly bring that example for you to see this flavor of debit and credit quickly. Okay, so I'll bring one more line for 40 here. Let's say I'll make it as another 1 lakh rupees. Okay, sorry, not 1 lakh. I need to have my cash account. This is the cash account that I wanted to have. Here I can enter the amount. Maybe I'll just make it as 25,000 just to avoid account number versus the amount. It looks like coincidence at this moment, but I'll avoid GL account number with the amount. Okay, this is amount, this is account number. So I will say additional capital. You just brought. Okay, now when I go with the overview, there will be an imbalance. Now you will see that clearly. Now the debits total is 1 crore 25,000 rupees. Credits is only 1 crore. There is a shortage of difference of 25,000, which is imbalancing. If you look into this, total how many lines are there? Total 3 lines are there.
3 lines.
But 3 lines total, you can see here which debit side is more or a credit side is more. Which side we have?
Debit side is more.
Debit side more. Credit side we have a less of 25,000 shortage. That is what you need to balance. Now I'll enter credit side 50. Enter your capital account again. Okay, press enter. And you say star again. If you say star, see what it takes. It is taking immediately from the previous line. And text, you will say plus. Now you go and simulate one more time. Now you see the total. Is that balance? Is it balancing debit versus credit?
Yes.
There is no imbalance. The debits, total of debits is this one. Total of credits is so much. It is taking the total of all the lines. And total it is 4 lines. Now if I want to post it, before posting, go to simulate. Simulate, why we do simulation? If there are any errors technically in a backend with the configuration or a cutover activity, system will try to read all of them and will throw error messages. Just to confirm, we are simulating. Go to simulate general ledger. Simulate general ledger, you will get to know the debits and credit, everything one more time here. And see expert, go to expert mode. If there are any errors, system will stop you to post. It will show you here all the messages. All the error messages that you see while posting, all those you can see here also. At this moment, there are no errors. Okay, so I'm able to post without profit center and cost center as well. So let me proceed here. If I post, you will be able to see a document number. So let me open this document number range. This number will get posted. The document number 150 has been posted in fiscal year 2025. That is the message, you will see it. Let me go back here.
Hold on, just a minute. It is 2027 you have selected.
Where is that 27?
Yeah, in year.
Okay, we spoke about that already. What happens if I select 2027 here? What is the significance?
Until 2027 you can able to post.
Right. So that should not stop us.
Okay.
Until 27, the same number range I'm going to use.
Okay.
Okay. So 25, 26, 27 also, all 3 years I'll use the same. It is valid until 2027. This is the validity. You consider this as an expiry date. Okay, 27 is the expiry date, which means still it is a good to use for 25. So I'm going to post now. When I post, you will see this document number, which is posted in current financial year, which is a fiscal year. The current fiscal year is 2025. You will see SA document type is tagged with 01. The 01, the first document so far, nothing has been posted. The NR status is 0, which means the first document is going to get posted. Let me save this. While posting, you understand this logic from where all these are coming now. So let me do your document types as well. /n FB, sorry, OBS7. It is already there somewhere. That is okay. Go back to your essay. If I directly want to go use position and essay, I'll open this. Now you will be able to understand what I'm talking about. Your essay document type is linked with the 01 number range. This 01 has been enabled here in the in the number range series up to 2027 with the same thing. And so far number range status is 0, which means nothing has been posted. And this document type is external. It is not, internal. It is not external. If you look into this, let me make this as well easy for you to read. I'm just trying to make this short. You can see all of them in one place. Now you can see this. And when I post this document, I'm expecting system to post one all zeros document number because it is external. It is an internal number range. System will define automatically. depending on this current number range, whatever has been already posted. Let me bring this here. So that way it is easy for us to read all of them. I'm just trying to make it simple for you to understand. Okay. So far you see these many things, right? So when I post it, you just need to figure out what document number it will post. Okay, just see this. Now let me open this document number. You see this? Let me open this message. Now confirm me this number range and understand this whole logic from where it is picking one. Now you see this document number here in company code so and so, right? Now this is the number range that I'm putting. I mean, system is automatically deciding. At this moment, it is 0. This is coming from this. Able to make out what is happening here? How does system determining this document number? From where it is determining? From
It's
here,
range, number
from
ranges.
number range. Why from only from 01? Why not from 0 to 03? Why it is picking only from 01?
Yeah, number ranges you have selected 01.
01 for SA document type. This SA has been linked with 01 here. The same thing has been linked. I have posted 01 here. Sorry, SA document type here. As I have posted into SA, this SA is linked with 01 here. For a 01, I maintained this number in series, whatever I have entered. So it is picking from this. This is the logic that we need to run. Okay. Now let me save this. When I save this, I mean refresh this screen, you will understand now this number range status will get changed. So far it is 0. What should I expect here? Number range status. The first number, whatever I posted, should reflect here. Let me go and refresh. As I don't have a refresh, let me go back a step. And one more time I'll enter. Now, am I able to see this number range status?
Yes.
And also, is it in a edit mode or a display?
It's display mode.
It's an edit mode, not a display. You can see clearly here, edit intervals. If it is in a display, you will find the term called display. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you can't edit anything here. Let's say it is an edit mode, which you can edit it. Once you enter any document, once any single document post in any number range, two things we need to remember. You will not be able to change the from number range, and you can't switch between internal and external. You can switch between internal and external before you post any document. Until you post, this is allowed. Once you post, this is freezed. The logic is freezed between internal and external. In your interview, they might try to ask you, while configuring document number ranges, while maintaining cutover activities, you maintain this as a internal, which means you have not ticked this one. And later you realized or a business reported they wanted to switch to external. Is this possible? It is possible.
No.
When? Until when? If there are no
Before
documents
posting,
posted.
it will allow.
Yes.
Once NR status generated, we can't able to.
That is what you need to remember. Okay. This is what your explanation should be. If you are able to explain this, they will understand you have worked practically. If you get confused here, easily they can make out whether you have experience or not. If you are simply practicing, if you are not understanding the concept, this is what happens. Okay, this is what we need to understand in a conceptual way, why you are doing this, why you are configuring this. Okay, only then you will understand what exactly happening. Okay, this is the simple logic that you know. Now, there are some more cutover activities which may not be mandatory at this moment. Am I able to post a document? This is what your business also will do it. They are able to perform everything what they want, for example. I'm not talking about at this moment P2P and O2C processes. When we talk about them, we'll talk about that in detail. But for now, we don't need to worry. At this moment, business is able to post the documents. They are good with this. So these are the minimum cutover activities that you need to maintain. So particularly whenever we do P2P configuration, P2P process, we will list it down specific to P2P. But these are like your entire list that we do it, but we don't require everything. Let's say for now, I'll mark whatever we completed. Let's say this many things that we completed, right? So I'll just mark this, which will be easy for you to remember. So far, you need this many cutover activities. The same thing has been maintained here as well. Tells is or something that okay. That's all. The rest, whatever we need to perform, we'll take them in the respective process whenever we discuss. Okay, this is a simple concept for you to understand. Once you've done with the configuration, you need to perform thorough testing, just like what we are posting this document. While posting, we tested whether it is allowing or not. Now test one more thing. Now I wanted to perform negative testing. Now, or the regression testing, right? Let's say I have created number ranges here up to what? Up to 2027 year here. I wanted to make sure whether it will allow me to post in 26 or make sense? Shall we try that quickly? 26, we'll try two examples. One is for 26, other one for a 28. One is a past year, one is a future year. Okay. So 25 it allowed when I have 27. So 26 also should allow. Quickly what I'll do. SA is a document type for 01. So I'll continue with this and press enter. And it should allow me. If is there any error, it should not allow me. It is asking account number. Let me enter any one account. Am I able to proceed from that? The dates, it is not stopping me. So that I'm using for 25. If I want to use for 26, let's say, let me use 26. This document date can be any date. It can be past or a future date. Particularly this period and the number range is depending on the posting date. So let me say this as a 26. This, you leave this as 2020. That doesn't matter. Or you make this as a 2030, which is a future year. Still doesn't matter. Now system will read from this posting period. First error message you should get is whether 2026 period respective period 4 is open or not. When I press enter, it will throw an error that is relevant to open and close posting period, because in 2026 I have not yet opened. I'll show you that. Do you see this posting period for 2026 is not open? Where do I maintain this? Just now we maintained that. OB52. Go to OB52. Think, okay. It is already there somewhere. So let me go back to that screen. So let me go to my posting period variant. Okay, not this. It is where I have. Let me go with TPV. Here, if I look into this, if you want to avoid this confusion with the too many things, what I'll do is generally go with /n OB52. While entering here, you filter with your posting period variant, TPPV. It will give only your variant. So here, currently I'm restricting this with 2025, only one period. If you want to allow this for a 2026 also, what I'll do, I'll extend this here to 2026, which will allow me now for a 2025, 2026 fourth period. So which means from 2025 July, 2026 July, 12 months will be allowed. This is the significance that I'm entering when I say this next year, fourth period. It is not only fourth period in this year and fourth period in next year. This is from this period until this period. This is the from and to dates. Okay. Now, let me save this. After saving, let me go to this document and press enter. Now it says check document date is in future. This is called a warning message. Yellow messages are a warning, which will allow you to bypass. Press enter. Again, it is giving one more warning for a document date and posting date are in different years. But I am aware, please go ahead. Now it is not stopping me with this year. 2026, I'm able to post it. It is allowing. If I select account, it will take me to the next screen to enter up. Now, if I want to post this in different year, that is how you need to control. So from and to periods, you need to extend that. Okay. So that's the one thing. Now, here we are talking about particularly the, what is that? Yeah, posting period for the future year. Let's try for a future year at this moment. Here, the document number range is what we are talking about. But yeah, let's say anyway, if I go with again 2030 here I'll go with 2028 and see what happens. If I enter 2028, so it should not allow me. It says posting period for 2028 is not open. This is what expected result. I'm expecting system to stop me. It is stopping me. It is working fine. This is how you test your system, whether it is working fine or not. As soon as you configure your posting period variant, you test with a past year and you test with a future year. You should know what is expected result. Only then you can confirm whether it is really working fine, right? Now, when I go back and check my posting period variant here again, one more time, sorry, here, I could see I made the system to allow only 25 to 26 only. 28 is not allowed. If I go with 27 also, it will not allow. For 2027, posting period 4 is not open. Here I allowed only until 26. If I, let's say, if I go with August in 2026, will this allow for 26? 2026 August month, will it allow?
No.
Yes.
No, it will not
26,
allow.
right?
It will not allow
25,
because
sorry.
2026 August month is 5th period. I'm allowing here only 4th period in 2026.
Yes.
If I extend this as a 5th period, then it will allow.
Yes.
So I'm not extending this at this moment. First test this. August. August is a period number 5. Let's say posting period 5 in 2026 is not open. So let me change this to 5th period here. Or I'll allow for until 6th period or 7th period. For example, 7th period. What is 7th period? Which month it is when I say 7th period? Which is a
July.
November. Which is a November. It is not a month. It is a November. 7th period is my November. Okay. Until November 2026, I'll be able to post here. I'm trying to post in 2026 August. Let me press enter. It should not give me an error. Now I'm able to proceed. It is asking for an account. Now let me try again for the month of August. Sorry, August I tried just now. So I may go with October. When I enter October, 10th month in a calendar, what is the period it is converting automatically? To the 7th period. Okay, sorry, it was not November, it is for October. Until October, it should allow. Period 7, I have opened here. System is reading period 7. So press enter. Now I am able to proceed up to October. It is not stopping. If I try to post for a November, let's say I'll select this as a November in 2026. November 2026, what is the period number for 20 November month as per April to March? Consider we are currently in a July month, right? July is a 4th period. If it is a July is 4, quickly go back here.
It's 8 month.
8 month, right? Okay. So 1 second. So for you to understand, July is 4th period. August is what? 5th period. September, October, November. So next one is 6, 7, 8. This is what we're expecting. When you press enter here, 15th November, automatically it reads 8th period here. I don't enter manually. It will only calculates the period from the table that we have already given. Now I'm trying to post in November month. Let's see what happens. I'm allowing until which month here? Which period? Up to only 7th period. I'm trying to post on the future period where I haven't opened. It should stop me. Is it stopping me or allowing me to post? It is stopping you to post. It is not allowing. You can see this error message, posting period 8 is not open because I have not yet opened here. Okay. So this is how you will perform various testings whenever you wanted to do before you get into the production. Okay. Got some idea how to test in a various scenarios. First, we need to understand the concept why I am doing this. posting period, why am I enabling this? Based on that, you need to go back and test in a various screens how to perform testing. While you are preparing your testing document, while you are performing a testing, make sure you also capture these screenshots step by step, what steps you are performing, and keep it for your reference. In case you need a help, share those testing documents with me and explain me what you are trying to achieve, whether you are able to complete it or not. Then it will improve your understanding levels. Then I can also correct your understanding levels if there is any mistake, and I'll share the feedback. That will give you the confidence which you can easily manage in a project as well. Okay, so for that, let me stop here for today's class and let me know if you guys have any specific questions. No questions? All right. If no